The WebServe billing system is a complete solution for managing your business. It's intended for telcos, ISPs, ISVs and service providers, and its main focus is customer, product and billing management. From launching new products to the market to managing the subscriptions and the recurring billing of services, WebServe billing system is intended to integrate with your provisioning system so that you can have a complete business management suite. WebServe billing system is based on Interworks Web CRM engine. This means that apart from billing features, you can have CRM capabilities. The entire sales process can be managed starting from opportunity level. There is support management, trouble ticketing, marketing campaigns, contract management, and advanced reporting and business intelligence capabilities. In the initial screen, the system depicts a brief view of our average daily work. Starting from email and other communications that are integrated, we can have a view of the daily tasks or appointments, notifications of previously assigned work, and history tracking of the actions we have assigned or have participated in. Moreover, we have a total summary of our sales orders in a brief view. We can track daily orders, be informed of our monthly or annual projections, we can check the number of unpaid invoices and their total value, the expected payments from customers, the status of subscriptions and the estimated income projection based on actual data or predefined factors of our choice. Business intelligence and collective reporting is of major importance for today's internet businesses. It is possible to present statistics by the use of dashboards, tables or pivot tables. It's worth mentioning that any type of data that exists, either predefined or custom designed by the end user, can be used for grouping the result or as a filtering criteria. At the bottom of the home screen, we choose to present overdue tasks. We can choose any component to appear or not and the number of results that will appear by default. The system is comprised of 6 major sections. The Office section that has to do with account management, contact management, event, task communications and calendar. The Marketing section has to do with marketing campaign, mass mail management and lead management. The Sales section has to do with products, price lists that are connected to product, special commercial and discount policies, and the entire sales process management. That means starting from opportunities, that's like managing a sales project, offers that are converted automatically to orders, contracts that come after order completion, and the billing process that has to do with automatic invoicing and the payments that are connected with the invoices. In the Support section, we have cases, support ticketing, the solutions that can be connected to cases, asset management, subscription management. All of these sections can be depicted as a total in the Report section, either by dashboard, or pivot, or tables, which we will show it later on. By clicking on the Office module, Accounts, we can see the list of the accounts that we have stored in our database. We have the option of a detailed or a list view. By default, the system presents the recently viewed accounts. We can select another filter or the filter we have created. There is the option to categorize account for better management. In the detailed view, we can briefly view the current status of the customer and immediately take action if required. The main account view is comprised of general information, related contacts, and company addresses. Initially, we can see basic information, contact information, billing and payment details, who is managing the account, and provisioning information. In all sections of the system, we have the option to add custom fields or groups of fields by the use of GUI set up dynamically. The types of fields are text boxes, Boolean values, date, currency fields, radio buttons, or a list of predefined table values. Moreover, we have a view of the recent subscriptions, open support cases, invoices, payments, and orders. The system dynamically depicts information from each section as long as there is relevant information. This simplifies everyday work and utilizes working space effectively. In all sections of the system, on the left side are the shortcuts menu, so that we can quickly perform tasks related to the process we are working with. On the right side, there is a brief view of the account. Also, we have search capability, either on the entire system or in the process you are working now. We can quickly create related objects and at the bottom of the right side, help materials available. Products. The products are a core part of the sales process. We have the ability to manage provision services, professional services, and actual physical products. Again, the system provides us with an expanded and a list view. We can have information regarding default pricing, type of pricing, recurring or one-time, product type, status, and general characteristics that are originated from the provisioning hosting plan in case the product is a provision service. On the right, through the quick menu, we can perform simple tasks or even to deactivate a product in case it's not available anymore, like Exchange 2003. In addition, we can categorize our products and services in our desired extent. The main product view is comprised of basic information and included services. Initially, we can see basic information, product description, if it is a standalone or upgrade product, supported currencies, and activation status. Moreover, we can see information regarding the characteristics of the product that is synchronized by the hosting plan that is connected at the provisioning system. In addition, we can have custom fields and notes. Moreover, we have a view of its pricing in the currencies that we have set it to be active. We have the ability to assign relative products. This can be add-ons, cross products, required products, and substitutes. To continue, the system presents the subscriptions that this product is a part of. If this product is a part of an offer, support ticket, or other component of the system, its relevance will appear on the appropriate section. In the included services, we can see the services that this product is comprised of. In the specific example, we have a website with custom-defined characteristics, a SQL Server database, SQL Azure Server database, and 10 Exchange mailboxes. We can add a service manually, even if this service is not a part of the provisioning platform and is an external service that the billing system is integrated with and we want to include it in the product synthesis. To understand the sales process, we will start by creating a new product. Initially, we define the name, for example, Hosting Plan 1. We set the code. The code can be set automatically by the system after defining composition variables. And we choose its type. Note that the type, VAT categories, and other informative fields can be dynamically altered from the GUI setup menu, even by the end user. We choose the provisioning user. Next, we choose either if our product is a physical standalone product or a professional service, or it's a product of recurring charge like a provisioning service. In the charge type, we can see one-time charge or recurring charge. If we choose one-time charge, in the unit group, we can select the unit group of our choice, let's say pieces, and can define the sell price and the purchase price. It's worth mentioning that we can have multiple unit groups. In our example, we will create a hosting plan, therefore it will have recurring charge. We set the initial setup fee if exists. In the purchase price, we can set the cost of the setup fee. Therefore, we can know our net profit. The same rule applies on the service recurring price. Moreover, we can set the recursion rates. Having as a base the monthly rate, the system automatically calculates quarter, semi-annually, and annually. Also, we can set the cost of our service. We can set additional currencies, US dollars and Great Britain pounds. The system calculates the conversion in accordance with the defined exchange rates. To continue, we can set the description of the product by the use of the full-featured built-in text editor. To save our new product in the database, we press the Save button. We have the ability to define configurable products. This means that we can set a product that will consist of multiple products regardless of type or charge rate. In order to create a configurable product, we define it from the menu. Initially, we have to define the parts that this composite product will be comprised of. In our example, we will set a part services and a part products. We can define if we can have more than one product in an order and if it is compulsory to choose at least one or not. We create the second part, products. Now we have to define the services and the products that will be included in both categories. To start with, we start with services, which we will select the Exchange 2010 provisioning. Notice that we can either search for a specific product or search generally by defining type or specific criteria of our choice. We can set multiple criteria, define logical operators, insert a value, and add it as a rule. We can have multiple rules and use logical operators for the rules to function. The same search filters and the same search logic applies to the whole system. In the product section, we will bundle a device with a logic that's a part of an offer. In the specific case, we will use a mobile phone. We can either choose to display or not additional characteristics of the product that can vary its final price. There is no limitation in how many part categories we can have and how many products or services we want to include in our configurable product. This completes the process. To continue the sales process, we will place an order, including a service and our newly created product hosting plan 1. To place an order, we press the Add button. First, we have to choose the customer that this order is for. In our example, we're going to choose Clearview. Then, we have to name the order. Then insert a contact from the customer's side that will be responsible for this order. We choose the billing to account in case of subsidiaries and we select the type. The responsible salesman is automatically selected by the system with the option to manually change. Next, we choose payment method. This can be automatically be selected if it's on the account information. Then, we either choose a price list or a contract with special prices. We can have multiple price lists with the option for the system to make automatic discounts either in an amount or in percentage in accordance to the turnover or other criteria. If this order is a result of a marketing campaign, then we choose the campaign. Now we have to select our products. First, we will choose SharePoint 2010 provisioning. We can simply type share, we press the Enter key, and the system will return the proper product or products. To continue, we add the product to the order. Notice that this recurring charge product has a setup fee that is automatically included. The number of decimals can be defined. We can add as many products as we want according to the search criteria we defined in the search lens. Next, we can add a description for the offer and any comments that we want to keep for us or we want to notify to other colleagues. Notice that the same process applies to offers and opportunities. To save our new order, just press the button Save. Now the order is stored. We can see the description of the order, the total amount, who is the responsible user, what is our cost, and what is our total profit. In the Products tab, we can review the products that we selected. In the History tab, we can review the comments that we have written in. To continue, in the products, we will add the configured product hosting plan 1 we created before. From the button Add, we choose Product. Then we choose the hosting plan 1 we have created. The system automatically loads the two parts that we created before. In the services part, we choose Exchange 2010, and in products part, we choose mobile phone. The system appeared the characteristic that we've set before, if we wanted 3G or not. Notice that we have the option either to choose prices from contracts or from price list, or we can customly define a price for the specific product. To continue, we press Save. Now we can see the hosting plan 1 is added in the product list. Although we created the order, still its status is in progress. If we want to execute the order, we press on the shortcuts on the left the Execute Order button. The system automatically appears to us a pop-up screen that we can choose either to issue an invoice or to simply create subscriptions for product with recurring charge, apply an upgrades and add-ons order, or create invoices and automatically create the subscriptions. In our example, we'll create the invoice. The system informs us that the order for Clearview is successfully invoiced. We can confirm the creation of the invoice by opening the invoices in the billing subsystem. We can see at the top that we have the Clearview invoice, which status is unpaid. In the invoice, we can see its status, its type, the currency, the invoice details, the invoiced item, and history. If we want to add a payment for this invoice, we click on the shortcuts Add Payment. The system appears a pop-up screen, which we have to define the type of payment, the amount we've received, if there is any transaction fee, if we want to send a confirmation email that we have received the payment, the date, transaction ID, which can be automatically generated by the system, the number of the invoice, and we can store the payment. Automatically, a subsection appears that says that a specific invoice is paid. The WebServe billing system has a built-in business intelligence and reporting system. In our example, we will create a report that will be a statistic for products and orders. In order to create a new report, we press the button New Report. First, we select a report type, either a simple report or a pivot table. For reason of simplicity, we will make a simple report. Then we select the basic data type our report will contain. We will choose products in connection with orders. To continue, we press the button Next Step on the wizard. The system loads the fields that will be used as columns for our report from products and orders. To continue, we select our desired columns. After selecting the desired columns, we can change the order that the information would appear, or we can change the alias of a name. For example, the status, we want to be status of order. To continue, we press on the button Next Step. Here, we can add certain criteria. We can pick and choose any field of both of the two data types we have selected, and we can use logical operators to filter the results in our preference. For our example, we will set that the responsible user should be Richard Balmer, and we will add this as a criteria. We can see that the rule that we have made now is active. We can define multiple rules, and we can manage the result by the use of parentheses and logical operators. In the next step, we can select a graph if we want our results to be depicted graphically. We have multiple graph types available. In our example, we're going to use a pie. We would like our graph to depict the sum of orders by chart type. Then, by clicking on the report results, the system presents the results on the screen. We can see the pie chart and the columns in the order that we have set it to appear. To make this report more useful, we can dynamically drag and drop a column to group the results. In the specific example, we made a grouping by using the product code. We can cancel the grouping by removing the criteria and adding the order name. In this way, we can have orders done by account. And we can make our report even more complex by adding a second group criteria, the product name. Now, we can see the analysis of orders in accordance to products. If an order includes amounts, then the system presents automatically the sum on the report. We can either save a report, export it to Excel, CSV or PDF, or directly print it. Note that for the report and for all subsystems of the billing system, we can define which users will have access and at which level. This completes the billing system presentation.